In this section, you are going to be solving equations for y. Now, you did do this when you did literal equations back in the chapter 1, which was in August. But we're going to review this and take this more in depth. So let's start with our first few examples. Example number 1. We're going to solve all of our equations for y. Remember, solving for y means y is going to be by itself. You want an equation where y is going to be by itself. You are putting this in slope-intercept form. And if you remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. I want every equation to look like that when you are done. Y equals your x term and then a number. So, example number 1, y minus 3x equals 2. I'm hoping this should be really easy for you. We have to move the minus 3x, so the opposite of minus 3x is add 3x. That would be y equals 3x plus 2. That's it. It looks just like our slope-intercept form. Identify your m, identify your b. The slope is 3, the y-intercept is 2. Example number 2. Y plus 7x equals negative 3. I have to get rid of a plus 7x by subtracting 7x. My equation would be y equals negative 7x minus 3. My m would equal negative 7. My b would equal negative 3. Done. It's that easy. The next examples, you've done these. These should not be difficult, but these are harder. Number 3, we want to get the x by itself. I'm sorry, the y by itself. We want to get the y by itself. So here's my y. I got to move the 14 by subtracting 14. This is a plus 14, so I'm going to subtract 14 on both sides. That would give me negative 7y equals 5x minus 14. The y is still not by itself. I have to get rid of a times negative 7. The opposite of times negative 7 is divide by negative 7. So we divide everything by negative 7. That gives me y equals 5 divided by negative 7 is negative 5/7 x. Negative 14 divided by negative 7 is plus 2. Therefore, my m, my slope, is negative 5/7. My y-intercept, which is b, is 2. Example number 4, solve for y. Subtract 2x on both sides. Please do not make a common elementary error and take 6 minus 2x. You cannot do that. We then get 3y equals negative 2x plus 6. I now divide everything by 3. That gives me y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. My m would then be negative 2/3. My b would be 2. Number 5. Negative 3y minus 7x equals negative 9. I first move my x term, and then you divide by the coefficient of y. So the x term is negative 7x, which means I have to add 7x. That gives me negative 3y equals 7x minus 9. I now divide everything by negative 3. 7x divided by negative 3 is negative 7/3 x. Negative 9 divided by negative 3 is positive 3. Therefore, what would your m be? My m is negative 7/3. What's your b? 3. Example number 6. Move the x. How do I move an x? I subtract x. That gives me negative 2y equals negative x plus 8. I have to divide everything by negative 2. This is where your math skills come into play. This should be easy, but if you are lacking on your basic math facts, this is going to be a problem. This is negative x divided by negative 2. A negative divided by negative is positive, so that would be positive 1/2 x, because there's a 1 here. 8 divided by negative 2, what would that be? Negative 4. So what would your m and your b be? M would be what? 1/2. B would be negative 4. Here are 2 more examples. I want you to do them yourself. Do them yourself, pause the video, and then come back to see if you did them right. All right, number 7. I'm going to move the minus 5x by adding 5x to both sides. That gives me negative 2y equals 5x plus 8. I now divide everything by negative 2. That gives me y equals negative 5/2 x minus 4, because 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. My m would be negative 5/2. My b would be negative 4. Number 8. I got to move the 5x over by subtracting 5x. That's the opposite, or the inverse operation. That gives me negative y equals negative 5x plus 9. I now have a negative 1 here, so I have to get rid of a negative 1 by dividing by negative 1. I divide everything by negative 1. Y equals positive 5x minus 9. My slope would be 5. My y-intercept would be negative 9. And that is how you solve for y first and then find m and b.